Have you ever noticed that the people who announce their big plans the loudest are often the least likely to achieve them? The entrepreneur who tells everyone they're building the next billion-dollar company. The co-worker who brags about getting promoted. The politician who promises everything before making a single move. Yet somehow, the people who quietly change industries, win negotiations, or rise to the top often seem to appear out of nowhere. Coincidence? Or is there an invisible rule that powerful people have understood for thousands of years? One of the most controversial ideas in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power says this: conceal your intentions. At first, it sounds manipulative, maybe even dishonest. But modern psychology, military strategy, business history, and even neuroscience suggest there may be something surprisingly powerful hiding behind this idea. So why does revealing your plans make you weaker? And when does keeping them secret become your greatest advantage? Let's find out. Imagine you're playing chess. If your opponent knew exactly which move you planned 5 turns ahead, would they let you in? Of course not. They'd block you before you even had the chance. Life works in a surprisingly similar way. Every workplace, every business, every negotiation, even friendships, they're all environments where people constantly predict each other's behavior. Sometimes they support you, sometimes they compete with you, and sometimes, without even realizing it, they become obstacles simply because they know what you're trying to do. This is where law number 3 from the 48 Laws of Power enters the conversation. But before you dismiss it as manipulation, here's something interesting. Psychologists have spent decades studying how expectations change human behavior. What they found explains why revealing your goals too early can quietly reduce your chances of achieving them. And the reason isn't what most people think. Number 1, the psychology of telling people your goals. Imagine you've decided to run a marathon. Instead of training quietly, you post it everywhere. I've started my marathon journey. Your friends congratulate you. Hundreds of likes. People admire your discipline. It feels amazing. But here's the strange part. Research in psychology suggests that publicly announcing an identity-related goal can sometimes make people feel as though they've already made progress. The recognition itself becomes psychologically rewarding. Your brain receives part of the satisfaction before you've done the difficult work. That temporary feeling of accomplishment can reduce motivation to continue. In other words, sometimes talking about success tricks your brain into feeling successful. Think about that. What if the applause comes before the achievement? What incentive remains to earn it? This doesn't mean you should never share goals. Accountability can help in many situations. But there's a difference between sharing your progress with someone who keeps you disciplined and broadcasting your ambitions to everyone around you. One creates responsibility. The other can create false satisfaction. And that's only the beginning. Because people aren't the only ones listening. They're also calculating.
Number 2.
When people know your destination, they control the road. Suppose you're negotiating a salary. Before negotiations begin, you casually mention, "I really need this job." What have you just revealed? Your leverage. The other side now knows you're emotionally invested. They know you have fewer alternatives. And suddenly, the balance of power changes. Negotiators have long understood that information is one of the most valuable currencies in any conversation. The more someone understands your priorities, the easier it becomes to predict your decisions. This principle appears everywhere. In business, in politics, in sports. Military commanders throughout history often relied on deception, not because deception was inherently admirable, but because predictability could be fatal. Sun Tzu famously argued that successful strategy depends on misleading opponents about your true intentions. The less your opponent knows, the more possibilities they must prepare for. And uncertainty is expensive. Imagine trying to guard 10 different doors at once. Now imagine knowing exactly which door your opponent plans to use. Which situation gives you the advantage? Exactly. Predictability reduces freedom. Mystery creates options. But here's where things become even more fascinating. Sometimes, the greatest obstacle isn't your enemy. It's the expectations of the people who love you. Number 3, why people may stop you without meaning to. Imagine telling your family you're quitting a stable job to start a business. Most won't say, "I hope you fail." Instead they'll say, "Are you sure? What if it doesn't work? Maybe wait another year." They're trying to protect you, but protection can quietly become a limitation. Humans naturally avoid uncertainty. Psychologists call this status quo bias. We're generally more comfortable keeping things as they are than risking unpredictable outcomes. When people hear your ambitious plans, they immediately imagine everything that could go wrong. Their advice often reflects their fears, not your potential. And because humans are social creatures, those doubts spread remarkably easily. Confidence becomes hesitation. Momentum becomes overthinking. Eventually, some dreams die before they've even begun. Not because they were impossible, but because they were exposed too early. This is why many successful creators, entrepreneurs, and innovators spend months, or even years, working quietly before making public announcements. By the time the world notices, the work is already difficult to stop. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If silence can protect your goals, why are so many people desperate to reveal everything online? The answer lies in something our brains crave more than almost anything else: validation. And that's where this story takes an unexpected turn. Number 4. The hidden cost of seeking validation. Social media has made sharing effortless. A new business idea? Post it. A fitness goal? Post it. A future dream? Post it. Sometimes this creates encouragement. Other times, it creates an illusion. Every notification, every compliment, every heart delivers a tiny burst of reward. Your brain learns to enjoy talking about the future, instead of building it. Without realizing it, many people become addicted to announcing rather than accomplishing. Meanwhile, the quiet person keeps working.
No dramatic speeches.
No countdown posts.
No endless explanations.
Just consistent action. Months later, people call them an overnight success. But success rarely arrives overnight. Silence simply hides the process. And that's one of the biggest misunderstandings about powerful people. They're not always secretive because they're manipulative. Often, they're simply protecting unfinished work from unnecessary interference. Because once something is real, it no longer depends on anyone's approval. So, should you never reveal your intentions? Not exactly. Secrecy isn't automatically wisdom. There are times when sharing your plans builds accountability, strengthens collaboration, or earns valuable advice. The real lesson isn't to become mysterious for the sake of appearing powerful. It's to understand the value of timing. Ask yourself, is sharing this helping me achieve my goal? Or am I sharing because I want immediate recognition? That single question can change how you approach every ambition you have. Robert Greene's law number 3 isn't really about deceiving people. It's about recognizing that information changes behavior. The moment people know where you're going, some will help, some will doubt, some will compete, and all of them will influence your journey. Sometimes the strongest move is simply letting your results speak first. Because the loudest intentions often fade, but quiet execution echoes for years. Think about someone you've admired. How much of their success did you actually see? Before everyone else knew their name? Probably very little. Maybe that's the real secret. Work in silence. Learn relentlessly. Move deliberately. And let your achievements introduce you. If you enjoyed exploring the psychology behind power and human behavior, you'll probably enjoy the next video, where we'll uncover another timeless principle that shapes the way people think, act, and influence the world. Until then, stay curious,